Good.
What was the first thing when you had a product? What was the first
Dumb
thing you
luck.
did?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, but like, let me just counter. Sandra, how do you market your, like, how did you know how to market your product?
Oh, I did not have this question here.
Next question, please.
You kind of know the people you're selling.
Hey,
Yeah.
wait. Is he allowed to do that? Is he allowed to ask this
I
question?
have no idea. Did
Excuse
he
me.
sign
Let,
this?
let me talk to our producer. What's going on? This is totally off script now. Okay. Well, please answer, Sandra.
I guess you kind of know the people you're selling to. But did this experience you previously had in a startup, did you went into building this product knowing that you will have to figure marketing side of it as well? So you're not that classical developer, that tends to build apps, but you had this business mindset as well.
Yeah, I mean, every developer that builds a product and is not aware that they have to now learn marketing is probably, I mean, stupid. It is like, it's the thing, right? You go into product development and have a business because you also want to do marketing. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
And like you said, like you know your customer. You have to know who you're selling to. Well, it's the same for me. For me, I had the extra step. I had to first of all understand who I'm actually selling to. Like, who are these people that actually buy this, right? And then I understood that. And then come the next step. Where are you? Like, where are these people that I'm selling to? Where do they congregate? Where do they have their communities?
Please tell me it was on Reddit.
It was not. Reddit is hard. You do like one post and people kind of forgive you for being a little bit markety. But if you do your second post and you're very obviously selling something, people don't like it. You have to be very careful, right? You have to ask questions or kind of introduce yourself and so on.
But you definitely then hit the sweet spot with SEO. Is that like something that we would consider at this point as a main channel to the product?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this works basically in every niche, because what happens is it's very technical content, right? My customers are very technical. They understand a lot of hardware and software things. And so you end up writing these articles and blog posts that really explain how do you go from point A to point B, right? How do you connect this device with this cable to this adapter to this device into my app? Like this advantage, you can never outsource it. It's very hard to just hire somebody on Fiverr and say, write articles for me. They don't know. There's no value. So you have to do it yourself. Advantage, nobody else bothered doing the work. So you immediately rank for these articles. Yes, the volume is not really high. You know, you look in the keyword search tool and you put in your keyword and it says 0 because they don't even measure it because it's so low. But just today I was actually checking our stats and I was looking like which blog posts actually earn us money. And like the most technical ones, how do I combine OBS Studio with StageTimer, is one of the highest, like earned us like $4,000 this year.
Yeah, that's where the quality content comes into the story.
Imagine if you had one fixing printers.
Imagine, right? Like this one article is to fix all printers.
Yeah, but that's not all you've done. So you have both quality and quantity, because I remember you did a lot of PSEO, programmatic SEO, for those that don't know early. Is that still going? Is that still bringing some customers? Yeah. How'd you pull that off?
No, so let me explain what it actually is. Programmatic SEO means you kind of auto-generate pages. One very good example is what Peter Levels does on how is it called? Nomad List. Right? He has all this information about all these cities, like who goes there, what is good, what works, temperature, weather, beach, whatever, people, anything. So he can create these long tail keywords like best city for surfing in the evening and drinking beer or whatever. And then he can auto-generate like a list of the best cities. And that's really cool. And I thought I want to do the same. So I thought, what do people look for? Well, people constantly search for countdowns, like 5-minute countdown, 10-minute countdown. It's like crazy how often this is Googled. Now, it's also crazy how much pages actually offer you content for that, right? There's literally YouTube videos. It's just a countdown of 30 minutes. So I thought, you know what, let's try it. And turns out people click. Like I just generated like a timer that generates a link for each minute. So there's like a 1-minute countdown, a 2-minute countdown, and so on and so forth. First of all, I just put it online, but then I realized I have to limit it somehow. So I limit it like to the first 5,000 minutes, and it ranks and people click, and we get a lot of impressions and clicks from that. But I have to confess, we don't get sales from that.
Okay. So it's just boosting your ego. Is that what you're saying?
It's mostly boosting my ego, yeah.
Did you plug in somewhere?
Yeah, you use it as content to do real marketing on other platforms.
I mean, it was a test, right? We tried it out, and we didn't know if it would help, if it would work or not. But the data says it's not really effective. But I think it just depends on the long tail keywords you'd use.
Sorry, do you track this over a period of time? Is maybe these users that land on a page, will they become a paying customer in 2 months, 3 months because they remember your product?
Yeah, we kind of remember what is the first page a person came onto our website, and then later when they purchase, we can connect the dots.
Yeah, so pretty deep into analytics and in the data side. Do you use PostHawk or what do you use?
Oh, I use Airtable.
Okay, so did you like roll?
I use kind of a normal, we have Google Analytics hooked up, but I always feel like everybody just blocks that anyway. So I literally build my own very, very simplified analytics thing where I just remember the first page a person lands, put it into a local storage, eventually when they make an account, upload it to my Airtable, and then later compare the data.
Okay, is that the next product or what?
I don't know. It works really well. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised because, we preach about, use this, just pay the money, don't spend time, don't reinvent the wheel, and so on. And then all of a sudden, you come in, you said you were lucky, you didn't know what you're doing, and now you rebuild everything as well, and yet you're highly successful. And I don't get it, man. Like, explain.
So I'm admitting this sounds entirely stupid and crazy to say I'm building my own analytics. Makes no sense. However, counterpoint. I feel like most people don't understand how to read analytics. Okay, so you hook up whatever simple analytics, plausible, whatever you have, and then you look at the data, and you see, okay, so many people hit this page, and so many people hit this page. But what does it tell you? What does the information actually tell you? Like, I find it so hard. Okay, it tells you there's more people now than there were before, or less people now than there were. This is okay. That's a good information. But it doesn't really tell you which content is more successful, because like some page can be clicked a lot, but people really don't care. And another page can be clicked very little, but people care a lot. Yeah. And it's very hard to get this out of the data. And then you can make like funnels, right? Where you say, okay, it's a person that came here, did this. And then I feel like you get in this it gets just very complex. And you have all this tooling, you have to understand, okay, how does my tooling work? And where does this value actually come from? And how many people actually give me this value? Or like, do they click yes or do they click no on the cookie banner? And do I actually get their analytics? And I don't know. Don't you have this? Don't you feel this sometimes when you look at?
I agree with you, because if you go into any analytics tool, you will be overwhelmed if you don't know what you're searching for. And then once you know what you're searching for, there are different multiple steps that you need to take in order to build anything. So I fully agree with you. Anytime like I'm talking with someone who is just setting up PostHawk, I always say to them that just having all these events can be super scary if you don't know what you want to get from them.
Yeah. So exactly. So I turned it around. I said, what do I actually want to know?
Yeah.
I want to know two things. the person that purchased, which was the first page they landed on, and did they click on any ad? That's the two things I want to know. So I built a custom solution for that.
Do you follow also where they're coming from, or your channels are very like niched?
We asked them.
Yeah.
We asked them like when after they purchased, we asked them, hey, where did you hear about us? And then we mostly trusted.
Yeah, I saw that someone got a new onboarding flow.
Yeah.
I kind of love it. I mean, it never even crossed my mind that you could do this. I love that you even tried it, that you had the courage to say, I'm going to build my own thing. How hard can it be? And you went for it, and that it seems to work for you. So maybe it doesn't need to be 100% accurate even, because every time I think about this, I imagine that Google has a lot of indicators and a lot of tracking points to, follow a user outside of your website as well, and fingerprint and all of that stuff. And
yeah,
maybe that stuff doesn't really matter, at least not at our size.
No.
Yeah.
No, we don't care about personalization. We don't care about user. Like all we want to know is how many people clicked on this and did in the end this.
Which content is the most successful one?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes total sense. But then I have to also ask you, maybe it's just like my curiosity, how does it feel for you to work with these companies, like B2B companies? Because, as we said, sometimes we think that it's much easier just to do B2C. You have more control, kind of like the feedback and etc. But how does it feel from you? Because you just jumped into B2B, into B2B.
Ooh. How does it feel like? I think people always find it more scary than it is, because people immediately think of the sales call and of the security questionnaire and of the certificate question, and do you have this and do you have that, and can we go, and then 6 months later you write a contract that you have to countersign with your lawyer and stuff. Not at all. In fact, I made the opposite experience, that most businesses are very happy to just purchase and don't do any of this stuff. And I think there's a golden price point. So what I found out is that many large companies, they have their departments, and then they have, in my case, the audiovisual department, right? And they tell them everything below $5,000, just do it. Like you have like this, some call it the R&D credit card, right? The other day we were at IKEA in the headquarters. They invited us, and I asked the guy that purchases our tool, and I said, who makes the decision to do this? And he's like, yeah, I have like this R&D budget, and I just use it. And he's like, yeah, one day if we want to roll out your tool to like every single store worldwide, then we have to go through all this questionnaire and blah 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 blah. But as long as we in the headquarters just use it, no problem.
Yeah.
And this is something very important to know. So if you stay kind of under these, I would say $5,000, per year price point, most companies, they literally just put their credit card in and purchase and don't bother. And if they bother you, you just say no often enough, and then they purchase anyway.